Yeah, it's interesting because you talking about not seeing the resources as you were transitioning is a big part of why we've formed this uh, group, this mastermind. Um, I feel the same way. Now, everybody's war is unique, and that when we go in, um, uh, sorry, and whether I was too naive or there just were not the resources after Vietnam, very controversial war for the whole country. Um, I didn't see the mentoring or the educational. As I've come to say, it was either because I was um, too hard-headed or too dumb to quit. I just kept going along. And when I started putting the idea together for this group, it was how do we help those that are in that process of transitioning? It doesn't mean they just got out. I have a colonel that works at the Pentagon. He's done 25 years and he's looking at his 30-year exit strategy, which I love that, people are looking forward and not just for the folks here, but for anybody listening to this on the YouTube channel. Um, I think that's what we're trying to gain out of this is the stories. How do we get from point A to point B? Know that there is a community. Maybe we're not all sleeping in the same squad bay, but there is a community of support out there. We all have unique stories and different branches. How did you get from point A to B? You talk about going into the entrepreneur stuff and the investing. We're seeing a lot of Facebook memes, and a lot of people are trying to teach veterans how to get into multifamily units. Um, I know that you're part of a pretty large investor group, uh,
Mhm.
and you have those types of contacts. You're a young lady. How do people accept you? How did you get the education so that people do accept you?
Yeah, so it's been it's been quite a challenge, I will say. But really just taking the learned lessons along the way and knowing that I have the ability to help so many other veterans and non-veterans too, just from the skills and what I've learned throughout the years. And if I am not out there conveying, my experiences, my setbacks, everything else, then I'm really doing those people a disservice because they could learn so much from me. And the other part of it is if I don't share that, then they're going to have to go through, stumble upon all of those speed bumps that I did. And meanwhile, I could help them start where I'm at now and not have to go through all of those. So really just leaning onto my peers, mentors like you, Mac, for, guidance and support, because that transition, like I said, it was very hard. I went into the entrepreneurial world and even had some setbacks there too, thinking, this isn't for me. I have to go back to a W-2. So I did for a little while. And I did that for 6 months. And I thought that's what I had to do. And it didn't work out because it's really hard when you are a veteran and you get out to go back and work for somebody and help them build their business when your true purpose isn't fulfilled. And that's what my struggle was. Like when you serve, that's at the highest level, the most selfless thing you can do. And I stepped into the roofing world as a sales. assistant. And so doing that, I felt I wasn't fulfilling a true purpose. I wasn't helping veterans doing that. The owner of the company was a veteran, and that's one of the reasons why I gravitated towards him. However, he wasn't one that wanted to be known as a veteran-owned business. And that was hard for me because I take so much pride in what me, my past, and what have you. And that was something that he didn't want to make public. And so we parted ways and I stepped back, into the entrepreneurial world and realized, that there's so much more out there that if I just push through the hard times as an entrepreneur and continue to build, I can truly help so many people. I just have to not give up. And I have kind of wrapped my head around the idea of not giving up and pushing through by the days when I slack, I guess. How many lives am I affecting? So the same thing with that mentality downrange. The days where your head's not on a swivel, where you're not cognizant and aware of your surroundings, when you're not on your A game, like what could potentially happen? I mean, obviously it's not at the same, caliber, but as an analogy, it's like every day be on your A game. And if you truly want to make an impact, on veterans and people in the world, then you have to maintain that. And so that's what's really got me to push through those hard times because there have been many days since I've been out of the military, and it's been a while. I've done a lot of work, like self care and a lot of just internal and external, both like with my spiritual, mental, physical health, to get to a really good place where I'm not having those major setbacks anymore. But it has been tough. It has been tough for sure. But yeah, just fulfilling that sense of purpose and leaning on mentors and utilizing all of the lessons I've learned. And that's really what's given me the drive. And I think a lot of people just have seen how hard of a worker I am and my work ethic and how much I care about what I do and my passion. And that has given them and shown the respect.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I've always talked about that I sold boxes, and people thought I was selling cardboard. But the package, I've always stated that I don't care what's in the box. I want it to be a top shelf product, and I want it to be competitive with other people, the other top products out there. But if people buy whatever it is, if it's a hard good or a soft good or a course or guidance, that if the supply chain breaks anywhere within it, from the person producing the product to the person using the product and the value, that everybody loses. And we all know there's people out there, it's all about them. And that I kind of refer to it as the 90-10 rule. That 90% of everybody we meet are honest and sincere. They care about what they're doing, but they care about what you're doing. There's 10% that just want to sell you something. If you don't buy, they'll never talk to you again. Um, Being in the high finance area, and that's where I put you with the investment. I went to the Aspire group with you, and that was a learning experience. It actually led into some other stuff that we're, you know, dealing with in a roundabout way right now.